In 2007, nurses at a nursing home noticed something unsettling. A cat named Oscar kept making the same decision over and over again. He would walk into a patient's room, curl up beside them, and stay there for hours. Most of those patients died within a day. Eventually, the staff stopped questioning him and started calling families when he appeared. It sounds like folklore, the kind of story that grows larger every time it's retold. But Oscar was real, and he wasn't the only animal behaving this way. For thousands of years, people have reported strange encounters involving animals and death. Dogs refusing to leave someone's side, birds suddenly gathering near a home, cats behaving differently around a person who seems completely normal. Most people assume these stories belong in the world of superstition. That's probably not what's happening, because death doesn't arrive all at once. Long before it happens, the human body begins to change. Cells start breaking down, metabolism shifts, hormones fluctuate, body temperature changes, even the chemistry of human breath can change slightly. Most humans never notice these changes. Some animals might. Dogs are perhaps the least surprising example. A dog's sense of smell is so sensitive that scientists estimate it may be tens of thousands of times more powerful than our own. Dogs can detect certain cancers, low blood sugar, and even the chemical changes that occur before some epileptic seizures. Think about what that means. A dog can sometimes detect changes inside your body before you feel any symptoms yourself. The harder question is this: if death involves measurable changes in body chemistry, could animals be detecting those changes too? Researchers don't have a complete answer, but there are clues. Oscar, the nursing home cat, correctly identified dying patients so often that doctors eventually documented his behavior. Staff members reported that when Oscar climbed into a patient's bed and stayed there, death frequently followed within hours. Nobody trained him, nobody rewarded him, he simply kept making the same decision. Researchers proposed several explanations. Perhaps dying patients became warmer or cooler in ways humans couldn't notice. Perhaps their bodies released certain chemicals into the air. Perhaps changes in breathing patterns produced scents that Oscar could detect. No one knows. But it goes deeper than smell. Animals constantly monitor tiny details that humans ignore. Horses can detect subtle changes in human posture and heart rate. Dogs can notice shifts in facial expression that occur for fractions of a second. Some birds respond to changes in weather and atmospheric pressure long before storms arrive. The world experienced by animals is not the world experienced by humans. It is a world filled with signals we never notice. And that raises an uncomfortable possibility. Maybe death isn't as invisible as we think. Maybe the signs are there. We're simply not equipped to perceive them. There is another reason this mystery feels so unsettling. Animals don't understand death the way humans do. They don't know what a diagnosis means. They don't understand hospitals or life expectancy. They aren't making predictions in the way we make predictions. And yet some of them still behave differently around dying individuals, again and again, across cultures, across decades, across species. The explanation researchers favor is surprisingly simple. Animals are extraordinary pattern detectors. Imagine living entirely through your senses. Every smell matters. Every change in breathing matters. Every shift in movement matters. An animal that notices small changes survives longer than one that doesn't. Over millions of years, evolution rewarded creatures that paid attention. Humans, by contrast, became increasingly dependent on language, tools, and abstract thought. We became less sensitive to certain sensory information because we no longer needed it to survive. The result is strange. We became the smartest species on Earth while simultaneously becoming blind to countless signals that other animals still perceive effortlessly. But there is a harder question sitting underneath all of this. Why does it feel so different when an animal seems to know someone is dying? Part of the answer may be ourselves. Death is one of the few experiences that remains deeply mysterious. Medicine can explain what happens to the body, biology can describe the processes involved, but the experience itself remains unknowable until it arrives. When an animal behaves in a way we can't explain, it feels as though it has stepped into territory where our understanding ends. And we pay attention because perhaps for a brief moment, the animal appears to know something we don't. What the science tells us is this: certain animals can detect extraordinarily subtle changes in human physiology. Some of those changes occur before death. Cases like Oscar's are well documented, and researchers continue to investigate what signals these animals may be responding to. What the science cannot tell us is what the experience means to the animals themselves. Was Oscar simply following scents and temperatures? Was he responding to changes in breathing? Or was he experiencing something we don't yet understand? The cat never answered. He simply walked into certain rooms, curled up beside certain people, and waited. And perhaps the most unsettling part of this entire story is that the signs of death may have been there all along, not hidden, not supernatural, simply written in a language of smells, temperatures, and tiny physiological changes that another species can read, and we cannot.